The sun beat down on downtown Los Angeles, heat shimmering across the blacktop of a crowded community fair. Music, laughter, the smell of barbecue, all of it stopped the moment Officer Ryan Brennan raised his voice. "That nappy hair makes you look like a damn animal." He said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Phones came out. Families froze mid-bite. Camille Carter, a calm, confident black woman in her 40s, stood handcuffed beside her silver Mercedes. 10 minutes earlier, she'd been pulled over for expired tags that weren't expired. When she'd politely questioned the stop, they'd called it resisting. Now, Brennan circled her like prey. "You people never learn." He yanked her braids hard, tilting her head back. "Get your hands off me." He slammed her face first onto the ground. Pain shot through her ribs. Officer Torres pulled a pair of electric clippers from the patrol car. "What are you doing?" Camille cried. "Fixing that ugly mess on your head. Trust me, you'll look better like one of us." The first braid fell. The crowd gasped. Phones recorded everything. A pastor shouted, "Stop! She hasn't done anything." But Brennan just pressed his knee harder into her spine. By the time the clippers went silent, Camille Carter, respected federal judge of Los Angeles County, sat bald and bleeding under the California sun, surrounded by pieces of her hair on the asphalt. They didn't know who she was. Saturday, 3 hours earlier. Camille woke to the glow of Los Angeles sunlight across her bedroom. Her husband Marcus wrapped his arm around her waist. "You're really spending your day off registering voters again?" She smiled softly. Democracy doesn't maintain itself. Downstairs, their teenage twins argued about breakfast. "Mom, that fair sounds boring." "It's important. Civic duty matters." She kissed them goodbye and drove out through the palm-lined streets of Baldwin Hills toward the Unity Fair. When she arrived, the air smelt like tacos and kettle corn. Kids laughed, music played, banners fluttered. Camille pinned her volunteer badge to her sundress and smiled. Just another neighbor today, not a judge. But across the street, Officer Brennan watched from his squad car. Mercedes, designer purse, Riverside Estates plates. "Let's have a little chat." Minutes later, Camille turned as 3 officers approached. "Ma'am, that your car?" "Yes, officer." "Your tags look expired." She frowned. "They're current, December 2025. Brennan stepped closer, invading her space. "I don't like your tone." Camille's instincts buzzed. 6 years as a prosecutor, 9 on the bench. She knew this wasn't about a sticker. "Would you like to see my registration?" He snatched the papers from her hand. "Justice system, huh? You a paralegal? One of those diversity hires?" Camille's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. Another officer sniffed theatrically. "Smells like weed." "No, it doesn't. I don't use drugs." "Refusing a lawful order?" Brennan growled. "I'm exercising my constitutional right." I pulled out her phone, started recording. "For the record, I do not consent to a search." Torres slapped the phone to the ground. It shattered. "That's destruction of property," she snapped. Brennan twisted her arm behind her back. Pain exploded through her shoulder. "You're under arrest for obstruction." The crowd gathered fast. Dozens of phones rose. "Officers, she didn't do anything," shouted Pastor Williams. "Step back or you're next," Torres barked. The pastor froze, but his eyes met Camille's. He recognized her. She shook her head slightly. "Not yet. Don't tell them." Brennan smiled. "Let's show the people what happens when you talk back." They paraded her through the fair like a criminal. Children cried. Parents whispered. Cameras rolled. When they reached the parking lot, Brennan shoved her into a folding chair. Torres plugged in the clippers. "Department policy," Brennan sneered. "Hair like this can hide weapons." Camille's voice shook. "This is assault, Title 18, Section 242. "Oh, legal expert, huh?" He grabbed her braids again. "You'll look better bald." The clippers buzzed. The crowd gasped. One braid fell, then another. Camille closed her eyes and memorized every detail. Badge B 6821, Bradford Brennan. Badge T 893, Torres. Badge W 5124, Wade. Saturday, November 16th, 11:47 a.m. 200 witnesses. When they were done, she sat silent, hair scattered around her like ashes. Brennan smirked. "You're free to go." Court date Monday, 9 a.m., courtroom 6. He didn't know who would be sitting behind that bench. Monday morning, courtroom 6. The same officers, Brennan, Torres, and Wade, strutted in, laughing, unaware. "All rise for the Honorable Judge Camille Carter." The laughter died. Camille stepped into the courtroom, bald, robed, powerful. The woman they humiliated now stood above them. Brennan's coffee slipped from his hand. Silence stretched 10 seconds long. "Good morning, officers. We've met." Her gavel struck. "Let's begin." By noon, case after case revealed years of corruption, false arrests, planted drugs, brutality, racial bias. Every file tied to Brennan, Torres, and Wade, all approved by Captain James Morris, their superior. When she ordered Morris to approach the bench, his face went pale. "Captain Morris," Camille said evenly, "you protected these officers. You covered up 33 complaints. You are now a witness in a federal investigation." Gasps filled the courtroom.
Moments later, she signed a federal order, Pattern and Practice Investigation, LAPD Central Division. 89 victims. The FBI agent stepped forward. "Officers Brennan, Torres, and Wade, you're under arrest for assault, conspiracy, and deprivation of rights." The same words they once used against her. When they begged for mercy, Camille's voice didn't waver. "You wouldn't have shaved my head if you knew I was a judge. But what about everyone else?" The courtroom erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. That line, "You would have treated a judge with respect, but what about everyone else?" went viral nationwide. By evening, the footage spread across every network. Hashtag Judge Carter trended. Hashtag They Cannot Break You became a movement. The same head they tried to humiliate became a symbol of justice. And on that Monday in Los Angeles, Camille Carter didn't just deliver verdicts, she changed the system. Because sometimes justice doesn't whisper, it roars.